This is the spoiler-filled review and discussion on why I didn't love the sixes of the Boys of Tommen series. If you have not read these books, I made a non-spoiler alert version on my page. Go check that out, but you have got to go unless you want to be completely spoiled on these books. And you don't, so go. Okay, love you, bye. Let's talk about this. Problem number one. We repeated the timeline. Did I know we were repeating the timeline? Yes, I did. I did know that. But I didn't know we were repeating the timeline for both books. I thought we might be repeating the timeline in Saving. And then I thought we'd get new content in Redeeming. I was very wrong, obviously. That's problem number one. Problem number two is the drug use. I understand that this is a great, realistic depiction of addiction. I do get that. However, I don't enjoy reading about it. I am 8 years sober and I have gone through recovery myself. And I struggle, to this day, I still go to a 12-step program and I still struggle with the idea of alcoholism being a disease. I know that this is controversial and I know that it is a disease. I just struggle with the concept of it. Meaning, I also struggled with the content of this book. It was giving codependency between Aoife and Joey. Like, heavy codependency. And I just really wanted Aoife to advocate for herself. Like, I understand wanting to save the addict. I really do. I get that. But in 12-step programs, we learn that we cannot control the addict. We cannot make them get clean. And I really struggled with that in here because, you know, she really, really sacrifices herself. She sacrifices herself to save him. And I didn't like it. I didn't like it. And I don't like the idea of, man, I also I'm really frustrated that these are YA. The fact that she literally has to drag him out of that house, like with you know what sticking out of his arms. The fact that are you kidding me? There is not a single 16-year-old in the world that I would feel okay and comfortable with reading that scene. No, that is not okay with me. Anyway, okay, I'm gonna get frustrated. So this is the second book that I've ever read that heavily deals with addiction. This is the second book I've read that deals with addiction that I didn't really enjoy. So I think that reading about addiction is just not for me, and that's okay. I just wasn't able to connect with these characters at all. I wanted to love them, but I really found myself annoyed and frustrated. I found myself annoyed with Joey that he couldn't pull it together. I found myself annoyed with Aoife that she couldn't stand up for herself or advocate for herself in any way. I found myself really frustrated with her that she couldn't detach herself from him. She couldn't let it go. And I understand that, oh, they love each other. That's great. It's giving codependency. It's giving heavy codependency. And I couldn't get on board. And as much as I wanted to love this, I didn't. And I know that these are very beloved by the Boys of Tommen community, and this is going to be a very controversial opinion, and that's okay. Reading is very subjective, and we're allowed to have different opinions. So please understand that we can still be friends, even though I don't love the sixes.